Hey, this is the Daily Overpass. My name is Eric and I make apps. Now today I want to talk about why Cyber Monday is the perfect day to buy all of your computer books. So this upcoming weekend is Thanksgiving weekend. It's one of the days I probably feel the most homesick throughout the year, right? So Thanksgiving is when families come together, they cook a huge turkey. You know, as a kid we watched the Thanksgiving Day parade on television and people watch football throughout the day. Just families getting together. So we don't have that here. But the following day is Black Friday, so that's a big retail day where everyone goes crazy at the mall and everyone has their big sales because Thanksgiving's officially over and Christmas season has officially began in the US, right? And then of course on Monday we have Cyber Monday, which people go back to work. Now in England we don't have Thanksgiving, but for some reason we still have Black Friday and we still have Cyber Monday, where people go back to work after the long weekend, which we didn't actually have, and do all their online shopping for Christmas. So anyway, if you're a software developer or if you're somebody who buys lots of computer books, Cyber Monday is probably the best day of the whole year to do that, right? It seems like every Cyber Monday for like the last 10 years, this is the day that I would load up on computer books, because like books that normally would cost like, $20 or $30 would cost like $5 or $10, and all the big publishers like Pact and A Press and O'Reilly and all of that, they would have their big, all of our books are $5, or all of our ebooks are $10, and then we just load up. And I wouldn't actually read them all, but I would have them all. But I wanted to talk about one of them. I want to kind of give my recommendation if you're going to be actually doing that this year, because this is a book that I read a few years ago. Actually, I say I read, but it's almost like a picture book, and it helps a lot especially when I meet with clients and they come to me with different ideas for apps or different requirements. It's been very rare that someone has come to me with wireframes. A lot of times I'll sit down with them in the first meeting and we'll sketch out a few different ideas in terms of interface design. I mean, the idea is that once they sit down with you and they talk about their app, they go away thinking, first of all, they have an idea, they've got it gelled in their head and say, okay, I can see exactly how this would work. You know exactly how it'll work. And more importantly, they'll look at you and think, this guy's really got it, right? Which you do, because you've done so many apps before, you know how they work. But there's this book here called the Mobile Design Pattern Gallery, right? Like I said, it's almost like a picture book. Now the title is Mobile Design Pattern Gallery, and when I was looking at it initially, I was thinking it was like design patterns, like in code. So in code, we have the head first design patterns. In code, we have a certain number of patterns that were identified by the Gang of Four years ago, like the singleton pattern, the decorator pattern, everything like that. Really geeky stuff and really, really cool, the kind of stuff that I love to read about, right? But this book is more in terms of like user interface design. So like, what types of navigation can you use? What kind of, what different types of forms can you use? Things like that. And when you're designing your own thing, a lot of times you have like a really good idea, but this kind of gives inspiration of different things. So let me show you a little bit of things. Look at the table of contents here. You can see we've got the like a chapter here on navigation with different examples of different types of navigation. Chapter on forms, on lists, and things like that. If I go here to the springboard, this is one that I use almost in all of the client applications. When we sit down and discuss an application, I usually start with the springboard design, which is like the launch pad. So like you go into the application and you'll see the different options. It depends. Usually what we'll do is we'll list out the things that they need their users to do. So the users will set this up, they'll do this, whatever, right? And we'll start mapping out these things here. But this is so what it has here is some different types of springboard design and some different designs that are used in some of the popular applications out there, both in Android and in iPhone. Right now, this edition of the book is from 2012. So this is all before material design and everything like that. So I probably need to get an updated edition of it. But it's really useful. And when it comes to my recommendations, for those of you, especially if you do like lots of different applications and you quote for a lot of different projects, this is really, really useful. Like I said, what I'll do is when we sit down for that first meeting, I'll sketch out a few different ideas of, some wireframes, and then I'll put them into Balsamic or some sort of wireframe tool, and I'll send them off to my designer. She'll come up with a few mock-ups. We'll put that into the quote, and more often than not, we get the job. So it really does help just to show that you fully understand how it works, but also just, you don't know what you sit in that meeting, what they're going to throw at you, and you might see, oh, this would be perfect for that design, or this would be perfect for that design. So my question to you is, over the last year, what are some of the good books that you've read, so that when we go through and fill up our shopping carts on Cyber Monday, what would you recommend? Hey, I don't have an affiliate with anybody, by the way. This is just my recommendation, and this book is quite a few years old, but it's really easy to thumb through and just get inspiration from. So what do you guys think? What are some of your recommendations? And that's it for today. I'm going to talk to you guys tomorrow.